Latest on Super Typhoon Yutu, which is on the cusp of Category 5 status once again, according to Force 13's analysis. A wind speed of 155 miles per hour and a pressure around 922 millibars. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center have gone higher at 160 miles an hour. That would make it Category 5, but satellite appearance is not particularly convincing. A Stage 9 on the CDPS, regardless, extreme, almost the highest on that scale. Total devastation would occur wherever the storm makes landfall. And these are the distances from particular locations right now. 866 miles now from Santa Ana, 889 from Basco, and 1265 from Shantou in China. All of those locations listed could get the center of the storm still. No warnings in effect at this time, but we can see the highlighted area there are the areas that we are concerned about over in the next 5 days or so. This storm is not going to move in very quickly, and we've got plenty of time to figure out where exactly it's going to go, but it's going to provide a lot of nervousness over the next few days. This is what the GFS model is saying. As we enter next week, you can see the storm progressing towards the west. Not much of a change in intensity. The GFS takes the storm further south, a landfall very close to where Mangkhut made landfall earlier this year. Other models do differ. The GFS then goes off towards the northwest, and then eventually the storm recurving to the northeast could also strike Taiwan as well as the Philippines or even the coast of China, as stated. What is apparent on that GFS model run there is that it weakens substantially when it enters the South China Sea. Sea surface temperatures are fairly warm, around 28 or 29 degrees. They are on a very slight cooling trend, so that would favour the storm less over time. And here's another look at the wind field expectations. Again from the GFS model, still moving just north of west initially and then diving down to the southwest. Tropical storm conditions could still be felt on Taiwan, even if it made landfall in the Philippines. And you can see there the forecast Category 4 at least at landfall there. That's just one scenario depicted. Other models have the storm stalling just offshore, and other models still have a much earlier recurve. So there's a lot of uncertainty about that. Just getting the typhoon status briefly again after that landfall. These are the chances of tropical storm force winds as it stands at this moment in time. 67% at Santa Ana, 62% at Apari, 42% at Vigan on the western coast, 44% on Basco, and 18% at Kaohsiung. This is what the rest of the models are saying intensity-wise. Looking for that second peak in the next 12 to 24 hours. Could be a Category 5 again. JTWC already thinks so. Wind shear, however, is not so much the storm's friend at this time. 20 knots or more anticipated in the next 36 hours before dropping again. And you can see there the CTCX taking it way off towards the northeast, and the HWRF calling for a landfall now in the Philippines. Earlier on, before I started this update actually, the HWRF had the storm missing, so that's a new development right there. This is how the storm's been looking on the satellite imagery. It's pretty large compared to other storms that we've seen recently, but it's not particularly well defined within its eye and indeed in its closest eye wall. The northeastern side would appear that it could have a gap, an open eye to the northeast, quite possible. That could be dry air infiltration, but that is probably one of the factors stopping this storm from being a Category 5 on our analysis at the minute. You can also see the northern cloud tops waning in those last few frames. Keep watching, this storm is on the way. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com with the latest. You can also find our YouTube page. You're probably there already, but if not, subscribe if you haven't so far. You can also find our Facebook page, Force 13 all in text, and it's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us on there. You can also help the project become even better by enjoying the benefits of patronage. You can find out more information about how to become a patron and what those benefits are at patreon.com/Force13. You can also add Force 13 on Skype and Fool 13 at extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.